I encourage you to dream big. Your dream's not going to chase you. You need to chase your dreams. If you want a life that's richer, you need to claim it. You need to go after it. You need to clarify what it is you want.
Take the time to remind yourself that it all starts inside yourself.
Wake up feeling stuck every day, then you gotta realize that it's all in your mindset. Read about that meditation, you go get around to it, you just haven't had the time. Yeah, I bet. Best thing that you could invest in is you. Could have the results or could have the excuse. Only one life, so take care of what you choose. And I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Wake up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bombastic Broadcasting again with Kat, Kim, and Sue.
And as you know, here at Bombastic Broadcasting, we love to highlight and shine the light on all those people who are doing the brave and amazing things of lighting their souls on fire, one broadcast at a time. And today we have a part 2. Yes, that's right. Yes, with
Our first part 2.
Our first part 2 with Eileen Head. And she has inspired us so much from the first one and taken some time individually to talk with us. And we did our Enneagrams, as you remember. Eileen Head is an Enneagram coach. Today, we're going to kind of jump in with Eileen and get started here.
Hi, everyone. These gals have taken the 9-paragraph Enneagram test, and I've met with them before to verify their personalities, because sometimes, we are a little bit of all the 9 personalities. Sometimes it's difficult to pinpoint which one you are because there are similarities in the personality types and lookalike types. So I verified them, and now we can get to the juicy bits.
I love the juicy bits.
Bring us the juice.
So what we found out was Sue was an Enneagram 9, a peace seeker, and Kim was an Enneagram 2 supporter, and Kath was an Enneagram 4 supporter. And so we're going to delve into this today. So what does all this mean? Well, the Enneagram is a very sophisticated and deeply psychological model that gives you insights into how you think, feel, act, react, how you feel emotionally loved, what your partner style is, what you need from your partner, they from them, it or you from them. It gives you so much information. Many of us have searched a lifetime to understand, who am I? And why is it that I get along so well with some people and have more challenges with other people? And it's because you have different personality perspective differences. And sometimes when couples get together, after a while, they have some challenges with each other and our personality traits. And it depends on how much insight and growth we've had within that personality. There's 9 levels of growth. And so you can go from the very unconscious and unaware to becoming more conscious with more insights. And that brings healthier relationships. Any comments on that, guys?
Yes, and when you said healthier relationships, I can see how that could be with your own relationship with self and with others. And what a great dynamic that is.
And when
Definitely.
2 people in a relationship know their Enneagram and are willing to work with each other, you can have enormous amounts of growth because your partner can recognize we all have traits that sabotage us. The personality was formed by the age of 7 to get your needs met. And each personality formed its own limiting belief on how they needed to be in the family dynamic to get the most love and attention. And from there, you created patterns. The patterns became roles. The roles become identity, and that defined a personality. The cool thing within the personality is you can start letting go of the box you're in. A lot of people will say, well, this is just who I am. No, this is who you've learned to be. And you can change your patterns, and the Enneagram will show you for each personality type exactly what patterns are sabotaging you and how to change those patterns going forward with more insights and a strong foundation of yourself, knowing yourself and understanding others. The Enneagram is a model that you need to be compassionate with yourself because you're looking deeply at yourself, and compassionate with other people. So it gives you the ability to figure out what makes other people tick, what ticks them off, what causes them off, how to connect with other people, how to get along, how to resolve conflicts, how to heal yourself actually physically. So the Enneagram is a model that I use at the basis of my coaching, and it is life-changing when you actually learn it. A lot of people either go the Ennea what, or they go, oh, I love the Enneagram. So I'm going to pick on Sue first.
Great.
Sue is
Good choice. No.
everybody likes that. All right. So we'll see if Sue stays true to her personality and doesn't speak up. We'll figure that out. Sue will just go along with the flow and not make any waves. Okay, I'm going to give you a bit
Not
more
always.
information
Not always.
and you can tell me, Sue, if this relates to you. So the limiting belief of the 9 peace seeker is that the world requires them to blend in. The role of the peace seeker in their family of origin probably was to de-escalate conflict and not to create any conflict. And so as a result, they have a very low profile in the family. They often don't ask for their needs. They're not even aware of their needs a lot of time. They go along to get along. Their gifts and traits are they see all people's point of view. They have difficulty discovering their own point of view, and they want to harmonize and mediate everything in their life. So things are smooth, things are even keel. They like their comforts. They don't like to go out of their comfort zone. How am I doing, Sue?
I'm looking at those two faces and going, oh crap, she's on it.
Yep.
I'm calling her out. The 9 peace seekers are the nice personalities. And they're so nice all the time that other people find it hard to hold them responsible sometimes. The 9 personality is challenged with procrastination and losing focus on things.
That can't be
She's
right.
the most focused one of us all.
No.
Okay.
She has her moments.
If she's done that, then she's gone to her path of development. So the model is that you have a stress point that you go to situationally. When you're stressed, you take on the patterns of some of the other personality. And when you're in your path of development, which you must have had development, Sue, to be more focused. And that's going to the 3 achiever personality. Tell me how that relates to you.
I think that I am focused on things that I enjoy, and then I can procrastinate very well too. I'm very good at that. But if I'm enjoying something, then I am pretty focused, and I get a little bossy, and you can ask these guys.
Okay.
I love a
That's
boss.
fair.
I love
That's
a
fair.
boss girl, yeah.
In your personal relationship, do you relate to just going along with the flow, easygoing, undemanding? And, if your partner says to you, where do you want to go for supper tonight? What would your response be?
Yes, that is the thing I hate most about myself, and I think my family hate most about me too, is yes, I'm just going with the flow until I hate myself and everybody around me.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's true. It's
I'm not
true.
quite that hostile, but
Right.
like in relationships, I find I just kind of lose myself, and
Yes.
that's never fun.
Yes. 9s have their strongest pattern is merging with others. Go along to get along, not making waves until they're seething underneath with resentment and being upset with themselves for not speaking up, for not being more proactive or more assertive. So that is a path of development for the 9, is learning to speak up about their own needs. And that's very confusing to the 9 of not really knowing what they need and want, because everything looks good. Everybody else, what they're doing looks good. It's easier just to go along with the flow, right? The path of development, though, is to learn to speak up. Often the 9s feel like they're the forgotten child in the family because they didn't speak up much and didn't have a voice, therefore forming the belief that they might not be important in the family. And that can be very unconscious, right? The family can think they're wonderful. Unconsciously, there might be a limiting belief of, well, if I speak up, there might be conflict. That's okay. I don't need it that much. I'll just go with the flow.
I'll have
Right?
to give that one some thought. I'll give that one
Yeah.
some deep thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can have
It
these.
sounds about right, because she's also the baby,
Okay. Yep. Can have difficulty making decisions, creating priorities for themselves, can get sidetracked, doesn't often pay attention or claim their own agenda, allows other people's agendas to be more important than their own. Those are some of the traits of the 9 peace seeker. In relationships, they're friendly and warm and sensitive and sweet, centered, wise, comforting, good listener, accepting, very non-judgmental, and makes other people feel comfortable and safe.
Those sound nice. I'll take them.
Take those. Here's the thing.
Definitely true.
Here's the thing, when you delve deep into your own personality type, it shows you, what your gifts are, what other people value in you. And often that's a surprise, like, oh, I didn't know that's what people value in you. And you love you go into the gifts and the great things. And then the other things, the challenges that people have with you and you have with yourself, and those sting a bit. And it's like, oh, like those
Yeah.
are much. But we know about them, right? And
Right.
so what the Enneagram does is it teaches us how to take those challenges and build them into strengths, how to manage your own personality, how to become aware of when you are triggered on something. What's triggered you? Why has the other person triggered you? What is the life lessons in this? And then how you can build more patterns to become powerful within yourself, to become more, know what's really great about you, your self-confidence. You know what you bring to the world, and you stand on that, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Beware, girl.
Hell yeah.
Beware.
I just want to tell Sue that I love her because I not to chime in too early, Eileen, but it's
Nope.
neat that we all know each other and hearing
Yes.
this, because sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
Sue is this amazing hold it together person for all of us, and sometimes I look at her and I wonder, like, why didn't you just get mad at me for doing that? Or are you okay? Are you going to come back at me in like a year and be like, I'm not talking to you anymore because, right? And so I want to make sure I always give Kim, like, doesn't that give you, Sue, permission to allow yourself to ask for what you need? Because I want to give you what you need. I want you to know that you're such an important part.
Is like other people's ideas look fun, so you just go along with them. And as you know, the person sitting next to you is kind of full of a lot of fun ideas. So it's kind of easy just to go along with those fun ideas because, I mean, you're having fun, so it doesn't matter if it's the fun you were thinking of having or, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Until it comes to the point
Sorry.
that, like, if you're in a healthy relationship with other people who are reciprocating your needs, but for a lot of peace seekers in the world, other people are unaware that you have needs because you're not speaking up for them. And that's where the underlying frustration starts to build and the need for growth, right? Any other feedback for Sue?
Hanging out with the right crew.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I could see how a peacekeeper, if they hang out with the wrong crew or like the bad kids or something, they could probably get pulled down pretty quick.
Yeah.
I've got a good crew. I'm all right.
Yeah. Lucky. Okay.
Yes, you
So
do.
now, now we're going to go to Kim, the number 2, supporter personality. And I relate to you, Kim, because I'm also a 2 supporter personality. And I can give you a lot of information on our personality type. So the limiting belief of the 2 as a child was you must give to get. In order to be loved, you must be needed. And so the unconscious belief creates this need to give, this need to serve, this need to nurture. There's a saying in the Enneagram community, if an Enneagram 2 sees someone in need or a victim, they are just like, all in, you need me. And we become overly responsible for other people, unaware of our own needs a lot of times, over giving, over helping to the point of exhaustion sometimes, very sensitive, intuitively sees and meets the others effortlessly. Like it's effortless for us to see the needs of other people, praising, encouraging others, people person, and wants to be appreciated for helping. Not good at receiving because always giving. And I heard a statement once that kind of rocked me. And it says, you give so much, it gives me no other opportunity but to take. And I don't like being a taker. That's a path of growth for the 2 supporter, because this driving need to help and support and nurture can be all consuming, depending on where you are on that scale of 9 levels of insights and healthy behaviors. So 2s can have very poor boundaries or no boundaries at all, because we like people nice and close until you learn some personal growth. Overly responsible. There's a sense of pride in being able to help other people, and can be intrusive. Like, what the heck? Who doesn't want my help, right? But there's other people who go, yeah, no thanks.
Need it.
Like, you
know
reject
you
me.
do.
Like, how can you reject me? I just want to help. My intentions are so good. So the path of development for the 2 is to start looking after your own need, create better boundaries, become aware that we can be overly responsible, and actually taking away the life lessons that other people need to learn in order to grow. How am I doing?
Yeah. You're doing so spot on. It's absolutely nuts. And honestly, the first Enneagram that I did was, a little bit before you, but this is totally helping and increasing everything. But I had gotten to myself to where I was so needed by a lot of people that I felt like I'd shut myself into a spider web and I couldn't move because they all needed me so much.
And the trigger's there, right? How can I not need when I know how to need? But the program running underneath is, you need them to need you to feel valued. And once
she never puts
isn't that a
herself
hit?
on the list either. She's never on the list of people who need things.
Yeah. And a lot of 2s get burned out. They to the point of sometimes their families become secondary, because there's all these other people over here who need me really, really a lot. And then what about myself? What are my needs? Through my personal growth, giving up to be responsible to other people has been life-changing for me.
Yes.
And I still help, but I do it in a different way. I will say, are you open to some insights? And everybody wants, when you say that, everybody wants to know what you're going to say. So you still get to say it.
We're not open.
Very devious of these.
Very devious.
And so
fantastic.
I say to them, have you considered this? Or have you considered this perspective? Have you considered you're overhelping? Have you considered you're over responsible? Have you considered that those people need to learn the hard lessons in order to grow? And then I let go of outcome. That's the hardest thing. I let go of outcome for them to do whatever they need to do with that. And I step away and do things for myself. I get to do things for myself. And so I create stronger boundaries. I need to say no for me. Thank you for asking. I need to say no for me at this time. Whenever someone comes, because on the top of helping lists, we're number 1. And we're not even asked. We go to a party, we're in there washing dishes, we're sweeping floors, we're putting out food, we're doing all these things. And it's lovely just to sit back and let other people do it. It's not easy in the beginning, because it's counterintuitive to what you think you need.
Yes.
I don't know if Kat said this last time, but you're making me think again of that airplane safety analogy. Put on your own safety mask first. And
Yeah. So 2s are touchy-feely as well. We like to touch people. We like to hug people. And if you come to an 8 asserter, it's like, don't touch me, don't hug me. And they will tell you outright. And there's other ones who will pat you on the back like, oh, let's get this over with. Why do they need to be so touchy-feely and in my face? Right?
Right.
It's creating the awareness, right? It's creating the awareness.
Yeah.
Any comments?
And I think I also got to a point in my life where I didn't know what I even liked to do. I had no idea what I even liked to do,
Yeah.
When my kids were little and things. But
the same in the Enneagram.
That, actually.
Right.
Yeah. The saying in the Enneagram community is ask a 2 what they need, and they're like deer in the headlights. I don't know what I need, but I know exactly what you need, and I can respond to
Yeah,
it.
I got you.
Yeah. But there, can you see there's can you see there's an ego in there? Can you see there's a sense of pride in that? And that's what we begin to work on. As I said, the Enneagram is a model where you create healthier patterns for yourself and for other people.
I love that. So you stay the person you are, but you just do it in a
healthier way,
sort of calculated, calm way.
Yeah.
Who you are, only better.
Yeah.
Only better.
Because, when you claim yourself, no matter what personality you are, there is a groundedness, there is a foundation there that no matter how any other person reacts to you, even negatively, like I've had people become really annoyed with me, and I can stand in my own power and go, this isn't about me. This is a pattern that they have. I may have triggered them, and I'm okay with that sometimes because they may need to learn that lesson. But then I can go to them and I can say, I can see you're upset. Tell me what's going on. What can I do to support you? Which shifts everything. Before that, when we personalize, we go into our own patterns and we go, well, I don't know why that person's reacting to me. My intentions are just to help. And now they don't. And then you spin your drama and they spin their drama. And does things get, sometimes things break apart completely, right?
Sure.
Any
I
comments?
could see how that could take on almost a victim.
Oh, victim.
Energy.
Absolutely. A lot of us go into victim when we don't know what to do, for sure. So, Kath and Sue, do you have any comments for Kim?
That was pretty spot on.
I love it. I think it's so great too that you're teaching us how to use our powers for good.
Because we've been using them for evil for so long now.
It was so fun too. And sometimes the helping works, and it's such a rush, right?
Yeah.
And you're so good at it, and it is a gift.
Oh, yeah.
But
I like the bit about boundaries too, like boundaries and making sure you're on the top of the list.
That's
And
always
I'm not
been a
just saying
challenge,
that to
for
keep
sure.
the peace.
Up to
really
this
mean
point, the language is important, right? So up to this point, it's been a problem. Going forward, I'm going to be more conscious of it. So with people that you don't have great boundaries right now, I want you to spend some time. Okay, in this relationship, my boundaries aren't. And maybe you have a conversation with them and say, I'm doing some Enneagram deep inner work, and I've realized I don't have very good boundaries. So you might find going forward that I'm going to set some boundaries, and I think that's good for both of us. Okay. And so, like, I give my clients scripting all the time in the relationships they're in, because a lot of time we don't speak up because we don't know how to do it. We're afraid of causing more conflict or getting frustrated or not being heard. And so when you can do it in a way that is unintrusive and empowering, and you're teaching other people to do the same thing at the same time, right? If you have boundaries for me, if you find me too intrusive, oh Lord, no, say no.
Yeah, right. Please say no.
Yeah, please say no.
Right.
Then let's get together and set some boundaries, because I think it would be better for both of us.
That's a beautiful way to say it, isn't it? Because that's very loving and nurturing. And boundaries, there's a book called Boundaries by Townsend and Cloud that I feel like should be required reading for all the high schoolers and adults in different phases, because it taught me a lot. I didn't know that boundaries were actually, saying no can be a very loving thing, and setting boundaries with the people you love it just sounds so harsh, like building a fence around yourself, but it's not at all that way. It's telling people where to come in.
It's so important to have the conversation, because otherwise suddenly she's just saying no and you're like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we set boundaries, we're not comfortable doing it. So we come in and I'm going to be setting these boundaries now, and I'm going to be doing this and that. So watch your tone and watch the words you use. Soften your voice, soften your tone, and say, I'm learning about myself. You might have noticed this. I don't have very great boundaries. And for me, I need, for my own inner work, I need to start setting boundaries. So I'd love it if we could sit down and create some boundaries together. And if that isn't forthcoming, you can say in the future, you might find me, doing this and saying, oh, hang on, I think I've overcommitted, or renegotiate things, right? I think I've agreed to this. However, I need to say no for me at this point. I'm letting you know, and this is a personal growth for me to speak up and even do this. So other people learn from you when you're doing it as well.
Love that.
Thank you for teaching us how to use our voice in that way, Eileen, because that was really beautiful. And
Yeah.
I like this, thank you. I need to say no for me, especially after you have that conversation with people that you love. They'll understand what that means and not take it personally.
And you know what?
Definitely.
Like people are go, wow, gee, maybe I could do that too, right? People
Right.
learn from you when you're empowering yourself, or they
Mhm.
admire you or respect you, whereas before they might not have, especially in the workplace, right?
Yes.
All right, Kath, we're coming for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Here
Uh-oh.
we go.
All
I love
right.
it. Can I say one thing really quick? Does it
Absolutely.
sound chatty?
Sam check.
But I have to say, Kim and Sue, have you noticed how Eileen is talking about voice? And we were with a guest last night on a podcast that hasn't aired yet, but she did a numerology about Bombastic in our name, and it was talking about voice and using the voice. And it's just so cool that I hear like all these repetition of things.
Yes, we love that when the universe conspires to bring us more information about what we're ruminating on.
Yeah, connect the dots.
And that's consciousness, right? You're conscious enough to go, oh, here it's coming again. The message is coming again. And when we're getting hard life lessons, it's like we need to pay attention. Why is this coming? What do I need to do about this? What do I need to learn about this? And then when we start working on it, the lessons, they get softer. When we're ignoring them, they just get more and more and more difficult until we get it. That's the universe in a loving way teaching us how to grow.
Love that. Everybody rewind and listen to that again.
Yes,
That was huge.
100%.
So maybe just don't go drink yourself out of the problem or medicate yourself out of the problem. Like get more aware instead of less present.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you do this, as you do your own inner work and your self-growth, life gets brighter, life gets juicier, it gets more interesting. The more you learn about the other personalities, and I look at sevens, the optimisters, how can you always be having so much fun? And I incorporate some of that into my life, so much so that some Enneagram teachers came in and they said, we know what personality you are. You're a 7 optimist. And I went, I'm a 2 supporter. I've grown out of my neediness. I don't need the neediness, and the need to be intrusive. So it's life changing. It truly is. So in case your listeners don't know, Sue and Kim are sisters. Duh, they look alike. And Kath is a sister from another mother.
That's right.
I adopted myself into the family. I hope that's okay.
Of course it is. We wouldn't have it any other way. All right, on to Kath.
We're going to, so Kath is a 4 expressor personality. It is the most feeling, emotional personality of the 9 personalities. They feel things deeply, deeply sensitive, deeply caring, can go deep into pain. They are people who are counselors of others because I empathize with other people's pain. The 7 optimisters and some of the other personalities, that's not their gift. Other people in pain, they can temporarily maybe offer suggestions, but not go into the depth. So the expressor formed a belief as a child that they felt abandoned, or they felt really unique and different, and people abandoned them because of that. And there's a dichotomy here because they felt different, so different that other people might not relate to them, and at the same time feel unique and special. There's a specialness they feel about themselves. They love being expressive, very authentic. Fours are authentic with their feelings, whether they are in a dip in emotions or whether they're high in emotions. Often they experience their emotions very deeply. Even they can be mildly depressed at times, and they call that sweet melancholy.
Oh, that's so romantic.
They are the most. Well, fours have these fantasies bubbles, they tell us. They've got these fantasy bubbles and they live in this fairy tale world and life is great. And then, boop, someone pops the bubble. But the wonderful thing about fours is they have this ability to see and experience all of life. The beauty of the sunset. We see sunsets, they feel the sunsets, the flowers, the creativeness, the ability to color things in beauty. That is the gift of the four. What else do I want to tell you about the fours?
It's making me all tingly inside.
People in beauty.
Oh my gosh, that
High value in
explains a
art.
lot.
High value in art, music, clothes, good manners, unique sense of presentation, very original and creative, sees beauty where others do not, refined tastes, sensitive, kind, deeply caring, comfortably talks about feelings, can empathize with others' pains, wears their heart on their sleeves, and the challenges of the four, they can be dramatic. And for the four, the need is to. What's wrong with that, right?
What?
For the fours, they have a need to express emotionally their feelings, and then they feel better. What happens with other people is the intensity of the emotions that are being shared, and then I don't know what to do with this. Like I don't know what you need me to do. I don't, and the four, I just need to express the emotions, and then I'm going to get back to feeling better. But if you don't express that to other people, it can be very intense and overwhelming for them. So the 9 levels of behavior, right? At the lower levels, they can have deep, intense emotions, dips and highs. They can have mood swings. Um, they're feeling different from others can put them in, especially as young teenagers when there's so much drama anyway, can put them in a victim perspective. No one understands me. No one, I'm different. I'm very different. Even my family, I'm very different from them. And this can be very difficult for them until they learn their unique style, unless they learn to be appreciated for who they are, the depth of their feelings, the emotions they bring to us. You know, for the 5 contemplator, who's the intellect, they are so logical, they need to learn emotions, right? And so that's what the 4s do to us. They bring the depth of emotion to our lives for us to experience. That doesn't mean the undeveloped of the other personalities are going to be comfortable with it. Maybe not in the beginning. How do you feel about that, Kat?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like everything that you just said, you nailed it. I often say I won the lottery when it comes to family. And even though I was different, you know, sometimes I would hear you're too sensitive. You have to grow a tougher skin if you're going to survive in the world. At the time I didn't know. I was like, ooh, what's wrong with me? Now I see that was love because it was probably horrifying for them. Like when I told my family I was an artist, it was like a reaction of like, oh crap. Like, you know, like, oh boy, she's going to be poor.
Oh, boy. For this one.
Good luck with that. But so I think my knowing so much of my roots and my familial like grounding and base of like the Italian side, the German side, the Slovak, like all the love that it was very easy for me to assimilate and probably learn a lot of how to not feel so different, but get more in touch with my special. And the nuns said the best thing to me ever, because I went to Catholic school for 12 years, which in the personality test, I was like, oh, I wonder how much of that is Catholic school and how much of it is me. But the nuns would always say, everybody has their own special, unique gift, and you have to let it shine. you know, and that
Nice.
helped me a lot growing up. But how you say, like, how I can feel things, I don't get so scared of this anymore. At one point I was like, God, am I manic? But
Yeah.
all of these lessons have helped me a lot. And my fashion house, I mean, that's maybe why my fashion house is so important to me, because it is like something that I came to creatively, and that I feel like I can help people with it, and it's an outlet and an inlet for
Yeah.
all these things. Even though the emotions don't scare me anymore, like I love to feel the red, 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 and the black, 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 the yellow, you know, I love to feel all of it. But I thought everybody would enjoy that, and they don't. It can be very, very annoying to people or frightening.
Yeah.
The thing that I love about having Kath in my life is all the feels, and maybe it does relate in some way to my personality, but it's nice to have somebody that just talks all the feels, right? Because I don't necessarily talk too many feels, and it's
No.
nice having that, and she does look at the whole world with a whole different viewpoint, which is really fun to have around.
Wow.
Yes.
Thanks, Sue. I'm so glad I have that on a recording. Thank you.
My little comment on Kath is that all sounded spot on, and I picked that one out for her like the first time I ever saw an Enneagram.
Oh my God.
Yes. And she can, like, she feels so deeply into, you know, if we go into a bar, there's a little old man on a stool, Kath will start talking to him and she'll immediately feel into everything he's ever felt in his entire life. And she's like his best friend within like 3 minutes. And then at the same time, she can turn to a teenage girl sitting two steps on the other way and feel immediately into everything that teenager has ever experienced.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so funny. Thanks, Kim. What a witness bearing. That's so true, huh?
You will never be the same after this, because, you know, some people say, well, that Enneagram's a cult, because people start talking, oh, you're such a 2, you're such a 9. There you are being a 9 again. You know, there's that 4 stuff again. And oh my God, that I relate to that. You know, it's as I said, it opens up your world, that we have 9 different personality perspectives, and they see the world in a very different way. And we can appreciate all of them and understand them deeply. The interesting thing for Kath and Kim, good thing they're in the same window here, is that for the 4 expressor, there are traits that you have, Kim, that can trigger Kath.
Oh,
The
okay.
overhelping, or the helping, the supporting, and the nurturing. The 4 can sometimes read that as feeling too self-centered. They don't have they'll help and be sensitive and caring, but they have their internal life inside. And the path of development for you, Kim, is to learn more traits of the 4 expressor that Kath has.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Oh, that is cool.
So that story comes to mind. I remember the first time we were finally able to hang out more. We were on a walk on a legacy trail, and Kim shared something, like one of her life dreams with me, that just made so much sense about like helping and mentoring young men, like going through like difficult situations. And she's this incredible mother, sons, daughter. And I was like, of course that's your amazing dream. Sorry, I just shared that.
No, I love that.
There you go, blasting it out. but and I said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. She said that she had never shared it with anybody before, and this was unfathomable to me. And I'm like, you need to say it every day, speak it into existence. But ever since then, I remember thinking, God, I'm so glad that Kim said that out loud to no one but me, because I've held that for her. Like, I'll remind you of that because I think it's so important and so beautiful. But is that kind of a situation like that you're talking about, Eileen?
So I want to use this exactly. This is so beautiful and shows the dynamics between the 2 of you, right? Kim felt safe enough with your intensity of emotion and caring that she could share that with you and feel comfortable sharing her big dream. And you've had enough growth to hold her dream and say, isn't that amazing that she has that dream? This is how we start to allow the differences in each other and the strengths, and support each other, and without beating up on ourselves, right? That's a natural trait. And is anything wrong with that? You know yourself better. 4s know themselves better inside than any other personality type. The rest of us are still flailing around in the pond of who am I, and you think I'm this way and you think I'm that way. Oh, well, that's the way I must be, until we really learn our Enneagram.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
It's so different when you know a little bit about yourself.
It is pretty amazing. Absolutely.
And you can see in couple dynamics, like I coach couples, like I mentioned on the other one, women have come to me in the stay or go coaching. I want to go. I want you to help coach me through this. And a lot of them end up staying and having a very connected, loving relationship when they both understand their dynamics. They're both valued, they're both heard. A lot of times in therapy, the men are the women are blaming the men. They're not speaking up. They don't know their emotions. Well, they've never had something that they can identify with without being blamed to explain themselves and then engage and speak up about it, right? And not just, there's men who've come in the stay or go as well, but in the couples as well. I put couples back together, and couples who've been married for 25 years, the guy goes, oh, now I know why she gets so twisted out of shape about me leaving the cupboard doors open. The cupboard doors are just open, and she freaks out. He goes, I get it now. So we all have these quirks, and the quirks are the triggers when we're not feeling known, when we're not feeling loved, when we're not feeling appreciated. And when we can, as the two, when you can say, I need appreciation, even if I don't acknowledge it. What I'm looking for is appreciation. For the nines, what they want is to be seen, to be heard, to be encouraged to have their own voice, to speak up. For the two, it's to look after your own needs, to set the boundaries, to enjoy life as a supporter and a nurturer within your own self-development. Make sense?
And yes, and can I just throw in there that, these two are my wingmen and everything in the world, but my boyfriend is the same as my sister.
Oh, wow.
And
a nine?
Yes, a nine, yes. And it's funny, somehow my sister and I have figured out how to, work around whatever we have. I think maybe I'm too bossy and I don't notice her not speaking up. Oh God,
not saying anything.
Oh God,
but
damn it.
Yeah, I do couples readings, and I put your two personalities together, and I teach you about each other, and I teach you the potential.
I'm doing that for sure.
The potential, the triggers that you have, and why. It's not that you're triggered. It's the why. What is triggering you? You need to work on your own triggers, and your partner can support you with that. They can put up their hand and say, hey, honey, I was just being me over here, and I see you're over here in the ditch, and can we come together? And I teach couples how to work their way through it, and actually even more of that, to grow within the relationship individually, which makes it stronger, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That growth dynamic you were talking about.
I have a love of the Enneagram so deeply because it's so life-changing for people, and I use it as a basis of my coaching, and I use it in the Live Your Best Life coaching and Manifest Your Dreams, because each of the personality types are different. I have a course that's going to be running here in a week or so, and it's Create Your Own Dream Vision, and we're going to identify what it is you're yearning for, create the high vibrational words that create the statements, then go on, this is all online on Zoom, and then open up a PowerPoint and look for pictures that go with the statements, create a vision board, and then the third week is to help you identify how to work with your vision board. But everything is based on learning about yourself. It is so freeing when you don't have the need to have other people respond to you to make you happy. When you're standing in your own power, instead of feeling trapped and confused and not knowing how to change the situation, this is a roadmap. This is an operator's manual in a kind, loving, non-judgmental, compassionate way.
I love this, Eileen.
I do too. Thank you for doing this
Thank you
live
so much.
with us. I feel like our viewers have got to be so intrigued themselves and in love with you as we are, and a little bit obsessed with the Enneagram and with your course coming up. And that's your call to action, everybody.
You can just go to my website. So go to my website,
Okay.
eileenhead.com. I offer a free call. I offer the Enneagram, the 9-paragraph test for free. I have lots of resources. I have a Facebook group called Relationship Advice to Live Your Best Life, where I'm putting in all sorts of things on the personalities, relationship tips, advice from other advice groups I'm in that I give, things they're posting about. If you have any questions, I'll answer them in there. I encourage you to dream big, to go for those dreams. Your dream's not going to chase you. You need to chase your dreams. If you want a life that's richer, you need to claim it. You need to go after it. You need to clarify what it is you want. My life, people will say to me, "You're so lucky. You lead such a great life." I'm not lucky. I chose step by step to live the life that I'm currently living. And it's an amazing life
Fantastic.
I have.
Bombastic. Yes.
Bombastic to the max.
Oh my gosh. So if they do the free Enneagram, is that what you just did with us?
Yeah. So I verify, just like I did with you guys. And then I do just a quick reading.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to it that I do. I've got profiles, like 25 pages on each personality. But what I really love is I love coaching, because I can shift your patterns. It's possible for you to lead a life that is so much richer and enjoyable.
Oh, that's so two of you. All your cool stuff that you're supporting us with. Thank you. Yes, you do.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. And
it is very exciting. Thank you. Thanks for having fun with us.
Thank you so much, Aileen. Wonderful to have you on as per usual. And to our listeners out there, be curious, be open, be loved.
Much love. Bye, guys.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding. Wake up. All is aligning. All you gotta do. Wake up. My man Mo said that the reason that the world fucked up is cause everybody lazy. Positivity is corny to them, but they still gon' complain about the bad going on. Shit crazy. So I just had to drop a little project. I don't know what the object is, but this feels good. If you too hood for the good vibe, sorry I ain't got nothing for you. Why should I?
You shouldn't. We out here doing the things that y'all wouldn't. Life could be a sweet ride, proof is in the pudding. These guys with the weak vibes, I'll show them where to put it. Down bad, I was looking for the answer. Mind all mad, taking over like a cancer. Canceled the sub plans, came from up above. Told me everything we're doing, showing love, and I gotta
wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding. Wake up. All is aligning. All you gotta do. Wake up.
I've been getting so high, head up in the clouds. I don't ever wanna come down, but I gotta
wake up.
Ain't enough time to be down. Bust a smile, cause it's yet another day that I'm allowed to
wake up.
Feeling blessed to be alive, man. Not long till we thriving. Take the time to remind yourself that it all starts inside yourself. Most.
Wake up feeling stuck every day, then you gotta realize that it's all in your mindset. Read about that meditation, you go get around to it, you just haven't had the time yet. Yeah, I bet. Best thing that you could invest in is you. Could have the results or could have the excuse. Only one life, so take care of what you choose. And I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding.